Man, I keep going live unexpectedly. This new way that they're doing it on the mobile app is throwing me off a little bit. Whoa, shit. What is up, man? This new going live thing is throwing me off a little bit. I didn't expect to go live exactly when I did, but here I am talking about that broke life. Now, we're not talking broke about not making any money or anything like that. Give me just a second here. All right. Shit. So anyway, see if anybody comes in here real quick. If you are in here, tell me where you're at and what the weather's like, because I've been looking out there, feeling pretty happy that I'm not out in them streets right now. Some of you guys might be driving. I understand you might not be able to comment, so I'm not going to wait too long before I get into a couple different topics. O'Brien and Sons, where you at? Where you at? Utah, clear and cold. Well, you better hurry up and get out of there. There's a storm coming through, I think, that's supposed to hit out there. I mean, you have plenty of time to get out of there. I probably wouldn't go west. If it was up to me, I'd get out while I can. Unless you live out there. So we're about to talk, man. I'm going to be doing about the most ghetto shit in the world for probably the next year, possibly 2 years. I was in Denver, but I'm in, I think you mean Holcomb, Kansas. My dog is in here barking. I might have to let her out of the room. She hears me in here talking. So I may get up in a second and go in there and do that, but so I got this Dodge Ram 1500, 2009. Thing's a workhorse. Never had any major problems with it. But I'm not much of a singer. But the hanger for the exhaust system just kind of fell down. It was like dragging on the ground, right? And I knew that there was a problem with it because my wife had actually got under there, hung it up. Then I took it to where I get my car worked on. And they did the same thing. So I thought maybe it'll stay up or whatever. No. I was driving it up there the next day or yesterday to get a permanent solution for it. And when I was driving up there, the whole like 2 exhaust things just fell down to the ground. So took the truck up there. And I've been thinking about selling it anyway. I mean, whether the exhaust is falling off of it or not, I could probably get the same amount for it, whether I was just going to sell it as is or if it was repaired. But me keeping it another year is probably worth more than that. So took it up there, and I just told him, man, we're going to do this shit like the 1970s. Straight pipe this motherfucker. So I just had them cut off the pipes on it. They did it for free. Cut the pipes off, put it in my put it in the bed of my truck, and then we're just gonna roll like that because I just got the emissions done on it last time I was home, so I'm good for at least another year. So we're just straight piping it. It's not that loud. It's louder than it was, but it's probably got about 15 more horsepower too. So, um, so that's kind of what I'm talking about, living that broke life. Because one of the things I thought about doing when I came back here was getting a new car, but I'm probably going to hold off on that for a little bit, just because I really haven't had the motivation to go out and look for new cars. And I'm not talking about new. I'm talking about a different car. Let's put it that way. I don't do the car payments. I heard people talking about these $1,000 car payments, $750 car payments. I'm not about that life right there. Johnson's Logic. Hey, get better, bro. I saw your post on Facebook yesterday. Get well. But that is about the most ghetto thing ever. Just cutting off your entire exhaust system. But hey, that's what I'm doing. And then a year from now, 2 years from now, I'll still be able to sell the car for, all right, God damn it. I ain't singing no song. A year from now, 2 years from now, that truck is never going to be worth less than $3,500, $4,000 unless the engine seizes up or something. The motor, people are just begging for that fucking motor. So it is strong, I'm telling you. And that, like I said, even now that they cut that exhaust off, it's even got more power. So I saw a couple cars I wanted to look at, but I'm not really in the mood. I got a bunch of money. There's a bunch of money that needs to get spent around this house, and there's money that I want to get spent around this house. So we're probably looking $70,000 to $100,000 if I was to combine the two. Stuff that needs to get done. I need to get the house painted now that we got these windows installed. So, that's probably $6-7 right there. When we got the new deck put on the house last year, my wife decided to have the stairs go down a different direction. I don't know why, but now we got to get the sprinkler system needs to get rerouted over to that direction and all that kind of stuff. We need to do that. Probably get some landscaping done at the same time. So, and then remodeling bathrooms and, some other stuff that isn't necessary, but probably going to do. Sean from PA checking in. What's up, man? Just out here living the life. Haven't been doing shit, really. Just hanging out. I really wasn't able to do much because I had all these people over here putting these windows in for the last probably 3 days up until yesterday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Not that I was worried about them stealing anything, but I'm telling you, there was so much Spanish getting spoke around here. I knew the work was getting done correctly. I was like, all right, you guys go ahead and do your thing real quick. And I must say the work was done well. If they weren't wearing window shirts around, I ought to talk to them about other work around the house that could possibly get done. But it looked like they just specialized in the windows. So am I a farmer? Well, I'm not a farmer. But we are drinking some of this grain to glass my son bought me the other day, so that is good. Let's see. Dad makes, daughter breaks. I just patched my garage roof. And I literally just finished my attic floor. I'm cleaning up now. I kind of almost want to move out of here a little bit and just get kind of out in some space a little bit more. Not because I need the space, but it'd be nice to have a place where, I could park the truck and all that kind of stuff. Um, I'm bringing my truck here tomorrow for my daughter to clean. And even having that truck out here for a few hours, these guys really ain't about that. You know what I mean? So I'm looking for a place with a little less. Now, trust me, I like having a HOA, and that kind of stuff, but I would like to have a little bit more space and get a little bit further out. Not that I'm in the middle of the city or anything. Home times feel better. Home time feels better without that truck payment. Absolutely, man. No stress at all. The only stress is I'm trying to let as much of this winter go by as possible. Hold on, let me. All right, I'm trying to let as much of this winter go by as possible. And I'm just gonna think about running it up when summer comes. I already told my wife, listen, I'm probably gonna run it up a little bit. I'm not sure how often I'm gonna come home. I may come home more frequently, but it may be shorter spans of time, stuff like that, because like I said, I want to get this stuff done. There's a neighborhood close to here I'd really love to move into, but it's just not the time to do it right now with interest rates and stuff like that. It's hard getting out of this interest rate and moving somewhere, so that's really the main draw. Dad makes, daughter breaks. Hey, absolutely. That right there is the most true thing that anybody said in a while. No pressure whatsoever. I don't have to worry. Listen, that was the best thing that I could have possibly done right there. Just updated my GPS. What's up, D's? Updated my GPS. It's been a while since I had that updated, so I did have a chance to do that. I might have to move over to Trucker Path. People say that's real. Like my regular Garmin does well. This shit that Prime has us using, this Copilot, uh, I just can't trust it. So people are telling me that this Trucker Path takes you right to the entrance and all this kind of stuff. So I may uh, sign up for that because there is nothing I hate worse than being somewhere at 2 a.m, dark, and not knowing where. And it'd be different if it at least got you to the place sometimes. But sometimes you're not even like in the vicinity. You might be 3/4 of a mile away from where you're supposed to be. So um, I just stopped trusting that Copilot. I moved over to Google Maps just for that last. So good, I might not even mind paying for it just because it's just to support them. So D's is up in Manuka. The place I like to go in Manuka is that Love's up there. I hate to say Love's because that's not my spot, but that Naf up there, that is the place that's my place right there. Is that Naf. All right, let me see. Let me check over here right quick. All right. I have Hammer downloaded. I have Hammer downloaded. haven't tried it yet. So, I might try that before I download the paid version of Trucker app. D's, if you're talking about in Manuka, as far as a pizza place out there, I'm not sure of that. One thing I do when I'm in Manuka, and boy, you got to have your finances correct, is I go to that Jewel Osco up there. Those prices up there are so high, but it's close to the terminal. I'm able to get in and out, all that kind of stuff. So that's really about as, yeah, I don't know anything about no pizza. That's really about as adventurous as I get when I'm in Manuka, is going up there. All right, so O'Brien, hey, Trucker Path gives me all the information I need to know on the mom and pop truck stops. At this point, I kind of know where most of the places are. I mean, at least I have an idea. I might need to narrow it down to like an exit or something like that. But at this point, I'm kind of good on that, unless I get to the Northeast, because I don't go up there a lot. And there's no reason to go up to the Northeast. Listen, if you ever see me do a video in the Northeast, I was doing a favor for somebody or something. It was never because of the money, none of that kind of stuff. I hate going up there. So if I go up to the Northeast, I will need to research truck stop stuff like that. Tyrone, if you ever come to Colorado and you're gonna be here a while, come over and we can make some hamburger helper. What's up? All right, hold on. All right, whoever Billy is, they're saying what's up. All right, Tim, I've never driven in a manual truck. Okay, I taught a super trucker how to drive a stick shift back in the 80s, and he's like the super trucker these days. The concept, listen, the concept, obviously, there would be no problem driving a manual transmission. My problem with it is it just doesn't make sense to drive, like the comfortability, stepping on that clutch, or you could float the gears, like, whatever. But I just don't see the reason a reason why I would ever want to switch to a manual transmission. And, I just don't see it. So I would say manual, even though I haven't driven, or I'd say automatic, even though I haven't driven a manual. O'Brien and Sons, I got, the Peterbilt GPS will give me 3 different routes that are pretty easy to cut. That'll kind of give me an overall layout. I could drill further down into that if I want, but that's usually kind of what I look at to give me kind of a route. And a lot of times that doesn't give me the route I want. So then at that point, in any of my GPSs, I'll put in like a city center, and then I'll have it route me there, and then I'll pick up the GPS from there. Okay, Tim, what company do you think has the worst drivers today? Rail, JB Hunt? Man, I don't know. I don't try to focus on all that stuff. If you were to look at what's been posted lately, I'd probably have to say Prime, as much as they've been on Facebook and all this stuff lately. But I think a lot of times the more trucks you have, the more exposure you have. So I don't know if there's bad trucking company or bad, what company has the worst drivers, as much as the drivers themselves. SoCal, where are you at in SoCal, Junior? Super Ego, oh my God. Boy, I cannot believe they're still in business as much havoc as they've raised in like the last 8 months, killing people. Like I've personally seen a multitude of those trucks that are just like in ditches or stuff like that. Um, and then there's so much on the radar, so many people talking about them running multiple logs and stuff like that. I'm surprised they're able to survive a way station. Waiting. All right. Junior's waiting on the shipper in Vernon. Vernon where? There's a bunch of Vernons on the top of my head right now. The only time I miss a manual is backing up to a dock. The autos are too touchy and the manual can ease back without a brake. I think I've got pretty good, Gene, just kind of easing it back into a dock. All right, but he's agreeing that driving it is much better. I taught so many people to drive manual transmission cars. I taught my boy that's a truck driver. I taught my sister. I taught at least two people buying cars because back in the days, if you wanted a cheap car, you had to get a manual. And I remember this older lady, and I'm saying old now. Back then, I was like early 20s. She was probably in her late 50s. That was the only car she could get qualified for. So I told her if she bought the car, I'd train her, teach her how to drive it. And we spent like 5 hours teaching her how to drive the car. 5 hours in a school parking lot, 5 hours in real life, and up and down hills and stuff like that. So, how often do you drive through Illinois? And if so, have you been to the north side of Chicago or have you driven in Chicago at all? I've been damn near everywhere on every side of Chicago, and I've been all in Chicago. I had a delivery that was like in Chinatown somewhere, and that was I don't know if it was actually Chinatown, but it was like within a few blocks of Chinatown. And one thing I hated about our old GPS system was that shit for some reason would start like shutting off around Chicago. So, but I don't mind going to Chicago. I prefer going there before or after hours, but I do what I got to do. Automated is good for SoCal traffic, but my license is unrestricted, so I can technically drive either one. All right, Vernon near Monterey Park. All right. All right, so Brian is probably trying to say why they're not getting pulled into all these way stations because they got multiple DOT numbers and all this kind of stuff. But just the name on the side of the trailer, if I was a DOT officer, I would flag that trailer every time it came in, just because it's a known fact that they do what they do, and I don't know. Maybe they just don't keep an ear to the ground like, I think they would. Automatics drive themselves, basically. That's what I'm talking about. My automatic Mac with the load behind me has a horrible pickup. I think prime trucks are geared in such a way to where they don't have as much get up and go as they could, especially on hills and starting out. So I think those people that have left Prime could probably speak to that a little bit more, that have unneutered them. Learn manual on my good old 68 Bug, Junior said. I learned a manual transmission when I bought one when I was in high school. My 69 Charger, I blew the engine, and I needed a car to get around while that car was getting a new engine. And I basically bought it from the dude and had to learn how to drive it from there. I knew the concept because you'd see people driving, so I knew put your foot on this thing, move the gear, let up. That's all I needed to know. It took me about 20 minutes to get it down. All right, those Chinatown viaducts are no joke. Only way in and one way out. I did not enjoy really driving through there. They did have a washout that was right near there, so that was good. All right, Edgar, when are you coming to Laredo? You need to try out Taco Kissy. You know what? I'll look that up next time I'm there. I'll tell you, there's a Shell gas station down there, and these aren't like, they're not like tacos like we're talking about, but they had some bean burritos up there that were fucking good as shit. All right, what was the last problem you ran into while you were out? Any malfunctions? The last time I was out, usually it's not, well, shit, it was a truck malfunction last time. The last time I was out, my air hose that connected to my compressor blew out. So I had to get towed to a dealership, get that all done. So I had to get repowered on that, which was probably a good thing. And because that load was going to Pennsylvania in bad weather. But, oh shit, Steve, wait, hold on. So that, hold on. I think I know what Steve is asking about. But that was the last problem I had. Most of the problems I have is as soon as I get out on a run, within the first two loads, I know if it's going to be a good run or a bad run. I don't know why. It's just a feel I get, but it seemed like the last time I was out, it was mainly my problem, but I just kept making dumb mistakes, not costly mistakes or mistakes that would be like dangerous. Like I just forget like the normal stuff that I need to do, like with Prime, showing up a receipt, shipper, receiver, leaving. Fuck, there was one I forgot about. Just little stupid stuff like that. Never any major stuff lately. What was the thing? Because I just thought about one of the things that happened. Shit, I can't remember. All right, so Steve asked if I have a smoke alarm in my house. All right, okay, because this stream is fire. The reason I thought you were asking that was because if you ever watch some videos at some black people's houses, one thing that you typically hear is that smoke alarm going off in the background. All right, what was the last altercation you got into, whether it be dispatch or a dock worker? Man, I don't get into altercations, to be honest with you. Okay, so there's something that's going to come to mind, but that wasn't an altercation. When it comes to any of that kind of stuff, I'm usually so chilled out that I'm not going to get into that. I'm not going to put myself in a position where anybody's going to come back and talk about me at Prime, and I'm not going to be that type of a person to do that in a business setting. But there was a time, probably about a year and a half ago, I was picking up a load at that. It's not a regular Walmart distribution center, but it's like one of those ones where we pick up like bleach and all that kind of stuff in Dallas, Texas. And I'm just saying this to paint the picture, not saying this because he was Mexican and that's why, but younger Hispanic dude, so he's like, drop your trailer over here, pick up this trailer, whatever. So when I'm coming back around, there's a cone that isn't, so when you're leaving out, you're supposed to go through this left-hand lane, I think. But there was a cone that was there, so I was thinking it wasn't in the middle, it was kind of offset, but I was like, what damage could it be if I go through the right lane? It'd basically be if I was the same thing as if I was going through Walmart with nobody there and I pulled in the wrong lane. So I pull into the right lane because there's this cone that's kind of offset there, and I wasn't sure what it was. This motherfucker gets out and tries to like talk down to me. First of all, he's half my age, so he's not even my son's age. And then he's trying to talk down to me. And then it was kind of late at night and all this kind of stuff. And I was a little irritated to begin with. That's the only person I've kind of lit up a little bit. And I didn't even go all in on him. I told him he might want to check his fucking tone real quick. Is one because so I pulled up and then he's like, "Can't you?" I forgot how he put it. "Can't you see that you're in the wrong lane," or something like that? And then me, I was just like, I thought that cone was over there, and so I was unsure on what to do, so I pulled over here, and he's like, "Well, no other driver that's came through here seemed to make that mistake." And then I was like, and then I think I said, "Listen, I'm not stupid. I'm not stupid. Here's what I think." I tried to justify myself, and then that's when he came back and said something. I was like, "You need to check your fucking tone right quick." And then he said, he tried to keep battling me, going back and forth and back and forth, and I was almost to the point where I was about to really belittle him about his job and all that kind of stuff, and that's when I stopped, because that would have made me just an asshole. So I stopped there and I just said, what, just give me the paperwork and let me get out of here. And then I left. But that's the last memorable thing I can say happened. But I'm usually not into that. All right, let's see. And most of the time when I'm talking to them dock workers or people in receiving, shipping, I just say, what, I'm chilling. Take your time. Because one thing I will tell you about Prime is they will go after that detention. And there is nothing I like more than free money. So take all the time you want. Unless I got a banger pre-plan that I'm waiting on. Oh, wait. Okay, Michael. When they left me in the dock all night, listen, that was my first Peterbilt, so that had to have been like 2019 or something, or not 2019. That had to be like 2020. That was the maddest I ever been. But I didn't even go off on them about it, because by the time I was gonna go off on them about it, everybody had gone for the night. And then when they came back in the morning, I'd already cooled down. So I mean, I was a little sarcastic with them about it, but I didn't really go off on them. That was the most pissed I've been, though. Sometimes you can get in a dock flawless, and then other days a ton of pull-ups. I had my CDL over 20 years. My favorite back is that U-turn back. So a lot of people are like, I saw a video of some guy, he wasn't in Prime, and he said the truest statement. The harder dock is to back into an empty dock when there's nobody. Or no, it was Slime Pack. That's right. Slime Pack said that. So she threw a glove out, so she knew her I think it was her. She threw a glove out so she knew where her dock was. But what I say is, fuck that. Circle around and do a blind side, and then when you pass your dock by a when your rear tires or whatever or at the edge of that dock start making that left-hand turn, and when you're making that left-hand turn, you kind of keep going, kind of go forward a little bit, and now you're able to see the dock numbers as they pass by. That is my favorite back. That's the back I really tried to teach my drivers, is that U-turn back, where you kind of make that U-turn and then set yourself up for the back, because you can see exactly where you need to be. A lot easier than if you were to do a regular setup. So that's I think that's talking about Junior's reply about the pulling up a ton of times. If I have enough room in front of me, I'm going to come in from the blind side and make that U-turn back. It is the most automatic back that I can do out there. Tim is saying I'm a great storyteller. Well, not as good as Romaine the Trucker. If you like stories, go to his channel. He tells the most remarkable stories out there. Even if they're not true, he tells them. Romaine, if you're watching this, I'm just joking around. JR has been at Prime for 7 years. Boy, I know that you've noticed a slight change in those 7 years. Well, everybody that's been at Prime for over 5 years has seen a change, maybe even 4 years. Now, Tim, I'm not doing a traditional blind side. So what the blind side I'm talking about, well, I need to do a video on it. The blind side I'm talking about is if you're coming in, so my dock is here. So I'm coming in from the blind side. As soon as I kind of get here, I start making that curve. And as I'm making the curve and I'm starting to come up, my trailer's lining right up to this dock right here. So it's not like I'm blindsided like a traditional blindside, but I'm coming in from the blind side, but it's turning into a right side back. But I'm able to see exactly where my trailer's at in regards to reviews where they're saying you got a blind side or this or that. And there's always been a way I've been able to make it work. One time I saw I had the blind side, I was able to do that U-turn back that I was talking about. Another time, the review said that you had the blind side. I think this was in like New Jersey somewhere. It was off the street, but it was like 4 o'clock in the morning, barely any traffic. You would have had to blindside this, but since there's no traffic on the road, I circled around the block, came back the wrong way on the one side on the one-way street, and turned that into a sight side. All right, how often are you blindside backing in? Also, when was the last time you had a blowout? What kind of blowout are you talking about? A tire blowout? It seems like those things happen. Like the last tire blowout I had was on my I think I had that on my newest truck that I no longer have. And that had to have been last winter sometime. And that was out in Morris, Illinois. But it's been a while since I've had a real blowout. I think that was my last blowout. And then when I had that blowout, I don't remember how much weight I had. All prime loads for the most part are going to be heavy, so I'm going to say I probably had 40,000 pounds. Although my last few loads have been pretty light, except for this last one. But the load before that was like 19,000. The load before that was like mid 20s, and the one before that was like in the 30s. So I have had some light loads, but usually we're running heavy shit. Rakesh, que paso amigo, what's up? Rakesh was the driver driving my purple Peterbilt. I think he's at Cowan now. Thinking about coming back to Prime, but he's going to look for the long-term approach and hit up that Walmart when he has a chance. Get a GoPro and do a video. You should also start giving us B-roll. Man, I got a GoPro, and you know what? I have not used that shit. As a matter of fact, my daughter's talking about doing a YouTube channel, and I was like, you know what? Put out 20 videos, and I'll give you my shit. This is not the video for GoPros, or I'm not that guy. I don't know how these people do this shit. To be honest with you, I can't even, like, Slime Pack has their shit down. cameras all over the truck and all that kind of stuff. But some of these people that are out there, like, all right, I'm at the gas station or at the fuel stop. Let me set up my tripod here and get this angle and let me do that. Man, I'm trying to knock it out. I can't get bogged down with all that stuff. And I always remember my first job is to fucking deliver this freight. So I can't get any deeper than I am. That's why I'm never gonna have a good YouTube channel. But anyway, oh shit! I didn't mean to delete that message. Whoever that was, hold on, Frank. I didn't mean to do that. If that was your comment. Good afternoon. I was trying to scroll up. Hopefully, I didn't stop anything. How often are you having problems with dispatch? Bad release numbers, not it. All right, I got to dig into this question real quick. How often are you having problems with dispatch? Bad release number, not answering. My only problem with my dispatcher, and me and Johnson's Logic have had the same dispatcher, so two totally different experiences, as well as Tim Travels, if you happen to watch his channel. My only problem with my dispatcher is answering that goddamn phone. That is the only thing, the only hiccup. And I got to give him a pass, like he's walking through the wrong neighborhood on that sometimes. So it is a problem, but it's not enough of a problem for me to like get that upset about it. That's my only issue with him. What caused you to fill the Walmart back end? What advice would you give someone going to Walmart orientation? What caused you to fill? I didn't do I never went to Walmart and fail any backing or anything like that. So I never applied at Walmart. So that was the question. But what advice would I give anyone going to Walmart is to take that pre-trip serious. Take all of it serious. Take the entire like process of going through their hiring process like you were brand new to trucking, like you've never driven a truck, and like be that humble. Do not go there and act like you know anything. None of that. That's the only advice I can give with Walmart. The driver told me to get a magnetic camera for the bumper. That's too much shit to go through. Man, by the time I get the camera set up and connected to Wi-Fi, I'd already be in the spot. So the Peterbilts have that where you could like get a Wi-Fi camera and have that, you could use your navigation screen as a backup, but who's going to go through all that? Afro, what's up? I'm just out here chilling. Johnson's Logic is speaking in the affirmative about my fleet manager's phone answering tendencies. Tell him to reach out to your friend. Oh yeah, hey, if you're thinking about going to Walmart, check out Trucker Crespo or Trucker BG. Now, Trucker Crespo, if you're kind of regular, check out Trucker Crespo. If you got a little hood in you, check out Trucker BG. Trucker BG is the one that trained Peruvian Trucker. And then Crespo was the one that trained Gonzo. At least that's one of them I know that he trained. I don't know if Driveline, Eric over at Driveline is going to watch this video. He posted a video where he was talking about the culture at Prime and talking about the culture making a revival. And he had said, I might give him some shit about it. I wouldn't give him any shit about it. Hey, Eric, if you happen to be watching this video, I agree with you that the change in culture at Prime is going to have to come from the drivers. My only issue with the culture at Prime is anybody taking credit for any part of the culture, or should I say, I guess culture is culture, right? So everybody puts into that culture, but don't embellish the culture unless you're one of the people that is putting into that culture. So yes, I've tried to bring that culture around personally and bring that in from the driver's standpoint, but from the company standpoint, I don't necessarily. Mike, why don't I have a neck? I have no idea. I thought I had a halfway decent neck. I thought, maybe not. Still a good place to come and make that money, though. Johnson's Logic, it will never be the same as it was when I was there. And I'm going to probably, never's a long time, right? Hold on a second. Never's a long time, but based on trending evidence, I'm going to have to agree with you. All right. So, Johnson's Logic. Hey, man, Ross, you were there. I mean, I'm sure that there were times that were better there, but that was a good time to be at Prime. I'm just telling you, that was a good time to be there. Even if you didn't like your fleet manager, like the drivers were kind of tight at that time, and then I don't know. I'm not even gonna get into that. I'm not gonna get into that stuff right there because that's gonna send me down an entire direction I don't want to go down to. All right. Hey, you know what, Johnson's Logic? You did pay off your truck at Prime, right? If I remember correctly, you did the regular lease because they weren't lease purchasing Volvos, and then you ended up paying it out. I've had people argue with me for so long that you can't pay off a truck at Prime, and there was a guy at Prime that was arguing with me, telling me that I had to pay $250,000 for my truck. So, um, sometimes it's not you're fighting other enemies. You're fighting the enemy within when you got people inside of Prime that are putting out misinformation. But I honestly, you definitely made the right move for you because you're at a. If I was your age and had the vision and stuff that you're looking at doing, I might have gone ahead and done the same thing you're doing. But I'm at the slowing down portion in my life. I'm not trying to add any additional stress. So it's good seeing you do what you're doing out there. Yep. Tito's and soda. Allentown. You know what? Allentown, that is one of, it's not actually Allentown's. What's the name of the city that Sheets is at out there? I love that Sheets out there. Exit 45, I think. There's a Sheets and there's a Bandito truck stop across the street. Love that place. I always stop there when I go there. Right, but you paid it off though. People are saying like you could never pay off a truck at Prime. That was one of the things people are trying to tell me. No neck trucking. Hey, That might be the title of my next video. Now, one of the things that does scare me a little bit about Prime is they make these decisions a little bit too, like, how long you could have a truck on the fleet and all this kind of stuff. You never know kind of what the situation is going to be. So I'm hoping I at least got 3 good years to run this truck, but they make decisions based on whatever. So who knows? Hold on a second. My wife is home now. She just got her grill clean. Hey, Andrea. You want to come here?
No.
I just want everybody to know that I respect you so much. Come here.
Oh, I think I was the disrespectful one.
Oh, come here. Oh,
I was.
Oh,
Yeah. You have no respect for your son, and I was disrespectful.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But that's okay.
Hey,
I'm gonna
somebody left a comment that was saying my wife was disrespecting me and I was disrespecting my son or something. Whatever that comment was.
YouTube, something about YouTube land family. I was like, okay.
What I don't. Hey, whoever that was, I appreciate it because my son went out and bought me a brand new bottle of. He saw that comment and went out and bought me a brand new bottle of 132 proof bourbon. So whoever put that comment out there, I do appreciate it. He probably did that because he heard me talking about raising that rent. Is really probably why I did it, but anyway. While I'm thinking about it, Andrea,
What?
that picture that Taylor did, why don't we put that up over here?
So.
Just put that up right here.
To watch Mexico. Okay, I'll let him know. Yeah, he sent a picture, so I told him I'm so jealous that I'll have to watch Mexico Mike after a while.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking to my mom. My cousin's sending videos and photos from Mexico.
Hang that picture up over here?
There's not that right there, big.
Right
That's
here.
too big.
Right here. It's not that big.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant where the donkey was.
Hey, bring that over here.
Well, you have to be careful with it.
It's not like I'm a fucking drawing the motherfucker here.
No, I mean I didn't have I didn't have it properly closed because I was trying to see. I need to take it out and press it.
It's kind of a little abstract shit that kind of. Let me see.
All she did was kind of like an ink blot thing, but she did it with fingernail polish on tissue paper. And she's amazing. She is coming over tomorrow, didn't she? And then you were supposed to take her to lunch after?
I'm not sure about lunch, but
okay, tomorrow. That's what she didn't know if tomorrow was
this is kind of abstract painting that was done
it's not a paint.
Whatever. It was done on tissue paper or some shit. Now she could really fucking draw. She did a picture. I don't know where that picture was, where she did like the self-portrait of herself. They used to hang up there where that dumb painting is. You need to take that off and put that other.
Dad's downstairs. He's talking about today's stuff.
Anyway,
here you
go. Okay, yeah, that's fine. But that painting that got taken down was better.
Oh well,
it's kind of some abstract shit. It's not like, but you know what? I think it would go good.
Get that. Oh, Daddy's bragging in there. Daddy's bragging. Yeah.
Oh shit! Midlife truckers in here stirring some shit up. Is that Taylor?
What, baby?
Is that Taylor?
No, it's
Okay, so Taylor's probably going to be able to clean out my truck tomorrow and then go to dinner after that.
Right,
Like,
that's what she
no,
said.
another day.
Oh, another day.
Because I gotta-
She didn't know. She
because
knows
I gotta-
that you wanted to go to lunch with her, but she didn't know if that was tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, there. All right. So, midlife truckers trying to stir up some shit. Will there be a Prime Ink dance in front of a semi? What color truck will they get? First of all, is that really real? That's the first thing I want to ask. And second of all, if they did actually come to Prime, I might have to slow down on videos because I do not want to track that shit to this channel. Number one. And number two, if they actually did come to Prime, that would probably be the smartest move they ever made. Yeah, that's the one. So here's a picture my daughter did right here. This is the shit. I don't know if I can, frame that up, put it up. And, she can draw her ass off. I don't know why she doesn't. She could fucking make more money going out there doing like goofy pictures of people on vacation than she's making. Well, definitely more than she's making now. But just about any job that she's going to do.
She knows he gets mad at her because.
Yep. I mean, that stuff can stand up. I mean, I got some real artwork around here, and that stuff can stand up to that. Now, this isn't real artwork. This is a Spike Lee print that I got as part of a it was a throw in on something that I bought.
So yes, he's bragging on
Damn, so what else is on my mind? Shit, if I fuck around and have more of this, there'll be a lot more on my mind. But that's it. Gotta get it in when I gotta get it in. My art comes from a hotel surplus store. Listen, I wasn't out buying all this art. I got some artwork that, let's take a little walk right quick. Hold on a second. So I have some artwork that was done. So I did a loan for a guy that was a famous artist, right? So as part of every time I did a loan for him, I would get some artwork, right? So let me turn this around. So this doesn't look like much, but that's some money right there. Right? So when you have a bookwork of all your artwork, that's when you know. All right, so that one was, I was helping out a friend that owned a gallery that was going through some financial problems. So I bought that one. That Spike Lee picture I was talking about got thrown in on that one. So this is a well-known artist right here. Artwork is hard to speculate. That could be $4,500, $5,000, something like that. Here's another one from the other artist. Same artist as the one I showed first. And then that second one over here is the same thing. Same thing there. And then, you know, we just got random other shit, you know.
Oh, absolutely.
There goes some Liberace shit that my wife got hung up. Then this is nothing. For some reason, this is a picture that my uncle had taken back in the 60s when he was in the military. And he always had it in his house. When he died, I decided to hang it up here. So anyway, there's more shit, but that's what's here now.
Yeah, exactly. Did you feed her again?
I fed her some, but I did leave a little bit in there, so whatever you see that's in there, she could eat.
Okay, but she eats twice a day.
Right, so feed her the third time and give her that little extra bit. When you open it up, there's...
That's what I was trying to find out, if you fed her a second time.
Right, but if you look in there, I didn't feed her... Okay.
I understand what you're saying. Come here. Come on.
Anyway.
Mommy, go get you some food. Come on. I know, she says, I like Daddy. Daddy feeds me all kinds of stuff.
It's not extra. I didn't feed her as much. So whatever you see in there...
Oh, you're definitely feeding her more than she's, I think, used to.
If you're talking about one of those lines, that's what she ate.
Yeah, she does that twice a day.
Right.
Okay.
So that is less than one of those lines because I cut...
It is, sweetheart, I know. But
No,
I'm thinking this is...
Jesus.
But it's good for her. She does better if she has food spread out, and maybe spreading it out with 3 feedings might even be better. Because that's when she gets a bad tummy, is when it's been, more than 12 hours. She doesn't do very well with that at all. And then she doesn't want to eat. Yeah.
All right, so anyway, it wasn't like I went out and bought this shit. It was like I came up on it, at least the expensive stuff. There's other stuff that's like...
Her tummy, she doesn't want to eat anything. Yeah, look at a bad tummy because she doesn't want to eat anything. No. And that's what we've been telling Tay with it'd probably be better to feed him more than...
So anyway, that's that. Just
because he's got a bad tummy and you should try it. Here, watch out. It's like, yeah, just smaller amounts. In this just smaller amounts. You're spreading out. It's definitely...
that's that painting there. All right.
But she still, if I sleep in like the other day, she had it, and that's because...
So shoot, looks like we're winding down here pretty quick.
I didn't work.
Unless somebody has some topics. Damn, there was a story I want to tell. There was a story I wanted to tell. Fuck. You know, I don't know if that was from that. It says Spike Lee Hooker Street, so I don't know if that was... What's up, kidney? Do I do crypto? No, I don't do crypto. I do stable shit. Not because I don't think that crypto is something to dabble in or something to put money in, but I'm like conservative when it comes to that type of shit. So I'm like in regular stocks, you know what I mean? They're long-term plays. The short-term plays that I do were things like Nvidia. That would be about as risky as I would have got back before they blew up. Taking some loss. Hold on a second. My wife needs to take this dog out. Can you take Frankie out?
What?
Frankie needs to go out.
I heard
Good.
that it was the timing of it. I don't know. Mommy's not ignoring me, baby. I just had to take that trash out. All right.
So now it's just stable shit. VOO, I haven't done any of that.
I did with my phone though.
I think if anything, I'm just gonna even start stabilizing it out even more
Well, Mama, I
with
didn't
like
get too far
Berkshire
away.
Hathaways. I got some shit in that. There's a newer one I was thinking about. I forgot that I might look into getting into. Oh, the Vanguard. Yeah. There's the.
Okay, I found it. I was like, I didn't know where
Damn, what was the Vanguard stock I was
I
thinking?
was just gonna lose you.
Fuck. Anyway, when you get my age, you can't be putting a bunch of money in speculative stocks. You know what I mean? You could throw some money in there, but the problem with it now is I don't have like, what's that shit called where people put money in and invest? Robinhood. I got a real brokerage account. So there's certain things that I can't invest in. So I can't invest in penny stocks and that. I can't invest in like crypto and that. I can't invest in some marijuana stocks and stuff like that. It's got to be pretty, I'm with Merrill Lynch. So I'm kind of hamstrung a little bit into what I can do. And I've just found that even if I could, why would I want to at this age? Now, if I was in my 20s and I wanted to throw a flyer out there, yeah, I'd do it. All right, so Fast Eddie 1. I'm thinking about coming to Prime. What's the pros and cons? The pros are the cons at Prime. The pros are leasing at Prime. The cons are leasing at Prime. The pros are you can make some good money leasing, and the cons are you get the wrong truck and the wrong shit happens, you could lose a lot of money at Prime. I was talking to, if you see somebody come in here or seen him in other people's chats, 412, we were talking earlier today, and he was saying that he may have made $100 in detention last year. If you come to Prime and you're detained at a customer, if you don't get paid on it, it's because they didn't get paid. They are headhunters when it comes to collecting detention because, they have a whole department out there trying to get detention. So that's a good thing about Prime. I looked at my last month's shit, and last month I probably did $780 in detention alone. So that's a good thing, reason to come to Prime. It's a little too structured. Everybody gets treated the same. So that's a con. You could be a 20-year driver or a 1-year driver, and the process and everything is going to be about the same. So there's no real distinction between experience and not. That's a con. I think a con is you have people that are in the upper management that aren't able to, even if they wanted to be empathetic of the situations that you're into, they can't be because they haven't gone through it. You have a few fleet managers that have driven trucks, but really upper management has no clue on what you're doing when you're out there driving around. So that's a con. But a pro is, if you handle your business and do your shit right, you're gonna make money. That you may be able to make more money elsewhere, but there's always gonna be more money elsewhere. So I'm 48. Exactly why I'm hesitant with the dividend stuff. The stuff that I typically, I have a bunch of dividend stuff. So I have like Tyson's dividend. So Tyson, since I bought it, is down, let's say $100, but the dividends they've paid is higher than what I've lost on it. So that's a good stock for me. I think there's a few more that are out there that are like that. But yeah, I'm pretty conservative on that. I visited my new friend in his apartment. He told me to make myself at home, so I threw him out. I hate having visitors. There you go. Smart man. Midlife trucker. I know you're joking around about that shit because everybody's talking about Prime as the Skittle trucks. You know what? That's a good thing. Being, one thing I will say is the equipment at Prime is the shit. So one thing I will say, if you're comparing it to Swift be having some raggedy ass trailers out there. So Swift, you're gonna be hauling some raggedy trailers. I don't know about Hirschbach. Their trailers seem to be always on point. I've never seen a raggedy Hirschbach trailer or anything like that. But the lease purchase program is the shit at Prime. There is when I say this, I mean it. There is no lease purchase program out there on the market better than Prime's that I could even imagine. That's a reason to come to Prime. The regular lease, I don't know if I'd throw Here's the problem with the regular lease is if you're not there to finish that lease, that turns a decent lease into a bad lease. So if you're making these higher payments than everybody, so you can go to anywhere else and get a payment $800-900 a week, whatever. You go to Prime, you're gonna pay $1,200-1,300, whatever. So you're paying that extra. And if you don't complete that lease and get that $15,000, lease completion, all that kind of stuff, then you've basically thrown away one of the benefits of it. So, all right, we're done with this shit right here. All right, so John Halgren, dividend reinvestment in Southern Company over 40 plus years has really paid me off. It could be almost any company over the course of 40 years is going to pay off. A good movie that would prove that. What's that movie? Blast from the Past or something with. Anyway, investing in shit long term is the way to go if you're young enough. Midlife trucker, you need Cheeseman. If I lived in that lane that you're in, anybody that lives in that North Carolina lane, put it in the comments below. What lanes would be good for Cheeseman? He has a cake over there. He's making excellent money at Cheeseman with no risk. That's the problem at Prime, is the risk. And a lot of times you're asking people to handle that risk that aren't mature enough to handle that risk. And they act like you should be able to handle that risk. But he works at a company that makes good money, zero risk whatsoever. All right. We got new trailers at Prime that are supposedly awesome to start with you. I haven't seen those yet. I mean, I saw a picture one. East of I-35. If you live east of I-35 and you don't mind putting a little bit of elbow grease, check out Midlife Trucker. Check out his channel. You can make some money where he's at. And I really don't think I think you got to run hard, but I don't think you got to run super hard to make some money over there. So go check him out on that channel. I think you do got to put a little work in on those loads, but Midlife Trucker saw a Prime Inc. chicken hauler. I think that was a problem that a particular shipper had. That was an emergency type situation. It wasn't I don't think we're going to be doing that as a course of business. Building those relationships. I mean, hauling that shit probably earned us who knows how much future business. So I gotta agree with that. I don't know if Tom Bell knows about this because he's creeping up in age, but boom, let me hit them knees with that right quick. All right, these old truckers messed it up for us young drivers. It's time to retire, especially if you're 20-inch swollen legs. I'm an older driver. I'm 56 years old. I'm new to the industry and 5 years into it, or well, 6 years into it, almost. But I was just talking about this earlier to somebody. Is I'm not sure how they're passing physicals, to be honest with you. But one thing I will say to any young driver, it's easy to talk about old drivers until you get old. That's one thing. That is one thing I will say is everybody. If you're lucky, you will get old. That's if you're lucky. Just keep waking up. That's all you can do. So, I think I'm about to shut this down. But hey, I do appreciate everybody stopping by. No Hippie Trucking and Transportation. If you're looking for, somebody had asked about a cooking video. I just threw up a cooking video before this. Let's see. Go check that out. Previous video before this one. So basically, midlife trucker saying that you can get a DOT from some unscrupulous people out there, regardless of what the situation may be. So anyway, I'm about to get off here. I appreciate you stopping by, and I'm out.